Hello, YouTube. It's 6:01 p.m. Tuesday, April 5th, 2022, and I thought I'd take a little diversion. Just stopped at the Chase ATM to make a quick deposit in front of the building formerly known as Chase Tower that is giant and empty, and I got about 9 minutes-ish until my bus shows up, the I-10 West Rapid, and I thought I would just kind of pop into the Hilton Garden Inn, formerly known as the Madison Hotel, and I was revisiting a video of mine that I shot. It was one of my random vlogs about six weeks ago, and just kind of adding to the to the description, and I added a link to the history of this building, and the article was great. It was talking about the renovation and how they tried to bring this building back to what it looked like in the 1930s when it was built and was actually a giant bank lobby. And I realized I've never made the effort to step in. And then when I stepped in here, something that I noticed immediately was the posters of Alfred Hitchcock and also of Psycho. And I just talked to the guy you saw in the background. I just talked to him and come to find out, and this wasn't mentioned in the article that I linked at all, but there was a scene that was filmed here in the movie Psycho, which I think is really awesome. Anyway, I don't have a lot of time, and I'm trying to weird anybody out as I walk through here with a camera, so I'm just going to be quiet and just let you guys check out the scene. I figure you all need to see something other than me complaining about how bad the bus service is in Phoenix and bitching about my dissatisfaction with my girlfriend. So this is the elevator that goes up. There's a rooftop. It's called the Floor 13 Rooftop Bar. I definitely need to go there. They got the prices posted on the door, and they're reasonable. So this here, when this was a bank, this is now the business center of the Hilton Garden Inn. Love the fireplace. And up above here, this was actually the office of the bank president. Back when this was a bank. This was the original Valley National Bank building. And the article showed that the vault is still in the basement. I don't know if that's accessible. It sure didn't look accessible in the picture, and I ain't got time to go looking for it. But fascinating. So the gentleman I talked to who works here explained that this room here is where the scene from Psycho was filmed. And they've got some great pictures from the movie all over this business center here, explaining just some stuff, talking about how this was used in the movie Psycho, which I just love movies, and I thought I knew like most of the major scenes that were shot in popular movies in Phoenix, and this is one that has completely escaped me. So. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Psycho again. This is insanely cool. Glad I had a little hang time on my bus transfer, and so glad I decided to step in here. So this was originally the lobby of the Valley National Bank when it opened in the 1930s, and according to the article that I read, they actually went out of their way to recreate all the original colors and original interior of what it looked like when it opened in the 1930s, right down to recreating these columns, which at one point had been removed, and to give it that original ornate look, which I think is fascinating. This kind of architecture is just something that doesn't exist anymore, and nice to see something restored in Phoenix instead of bulldozed down to make way for a new building. There's the bar, and I'm just going to head out. Another thing that was mentioned in the article is that these are the original doors to with the cool-looking brass inlays and stuff. They were painstakingly restored and put back on the building. This building sat empty for a long time, so. Love the fact that the Hilton Garden Inn restored it and actually went as far as to restore that ornate brass work and clean up the stonework. And this is this is definitely one of the cooler bits of architecture in Phoenix. And I did mention when I was talking to and I'm not, this room doesn't appear to be being used for anything, but I did talk to the employee there about it, and this is the corner where there used to be a McDonald's. And what I didn't realize is when I was looking at that article, and I forget what website it was on, I want to say kjzz.com. It looks like they're getting ready to maybe put a restaurant here with some patio dining. When that McDonald's was in this corner location, the rest of the building was sitting basically abandoned and unusable. So as much as I miss the McDonald's, this is definitely a better use of the place, and certainly a nicer restaurant can go in this corner slot, the McDonald's. And I do believe up above there, where you can see kind of the lookout, that's probably where what they call the rooftop bar is. Definitely need to make a trip there and check that out, because that's freaking cool. And to contrast that, speaking of things just being bulldozed and replaced, so glad that building wasn't. And speaking of historic hotels, there's the Hotel San Carlos. I actually had the pleasure of staying there a few times. They say the place is haunted. I didn't see any ghosts, but I certainly had a good time, and they've got a rooftop pool, which is freaking cool. There's a really long story behind my staying there, and I don't have time for it. In fact, I've only got 4 minutes until my bus shows up. I expect Cruella de Vil is going to be waiting for the bus here, the woman I ride the bus with, but I call her. I just wanted to show y'all one more thing before I wrap this up and get ready to board my bus, since the bus will show it in about 3 minutes. But one thing that really surprised me today, as I was getting off the train, which I caught up on Thomas in the last vlog, as I was getting off the train, is I've commented many times about how it really sucks that Central Station is all fenced off and you can't get in there. And what absolutely shocked me today, and gonna jaywalk across here without getting hit, everything in Central Station, almost everything, since the last time I looked over there, has been bulldozed. It's just a big pile of rubble over there now, where Central Station was, and it looks like it was bombed in a war. It's really sad. And I remember when that bus station was built. It doesn't really feel like it was that long ago that Central Station was built as like the new great transit facility for Phoenix, and I was not happy about it because there was a Phoenix downtown transit center that used to be located at a much more convenient location at more or less where the Fry's is now. I forget exactly where it was, and I'll have to Google it, and I'll try to put that in the description. Oh, look at that caddy. That is amazing. Now that's the kind of car I can get excited to see on the road. Nice. Anyway, yeah, I forget exactly where it was, but I remember using that bus station back in the late 80s, and it being very convenient, right in the center of downtown, close to the courthouse. It's just close to everything that was downtown at that time. And granted, now downtown was sort of a wasteland back in the late 80s, but that was a much more centrally located transit center than Central Station is here. And it seemed to have more buses that serviced it than Central Station does. And now Central Station is merely a pile of rubble. And I gotta admit, I feel really frustrated. Like the city of Phoenix has wasted tax dollars in building something only to just rip it down. Not really that many years later. I mean, granted, it's probably been 20 years, but there was nothing wrong with any of the physical structures. And in fact, I'm sure I've held my phone over the fence and shown where you can see the structure sitting there empty at Central Station. There was nothing wrong with any of those structures. So I just find that just complete senseless destruction and waste of tax money. When that, not only should that facility be being used now, but I mean, nobody seems to know when Central Station is going to reopen. And oh shit, there's my bus. Got to wrap this up. Thanks for coming with. Woo-hoo.